Just 5 minutes before my wedding, I overheard my bride confessing that she wanted not only my money, but perhaps even my life. I didn't cancel the wedding. I smiled, walked toward the altar, and decided to give her a wedding gift she would never forget, a gift wrapped in revenge. Want to know how this shocking story unfolds? Make sure to subscribe now and stay with me till the end, you won't want to miss a single twist. I was the groom, and just 5 minutes before the wedding, I heard my bride's confession. She wanted my money, and perhaps also my life. But I did not call off the wedding. I smiled as I walked toward the altar, deciding to give her a wedding gift she would never forget. My revenge would be the most precious and the most painful gift she had ever received. I felt my knees weaken as I adjusted my tie for the last time in the church lounge. In just a few minutes, I would walk to the altar of St. Peter's Church in Madrid to marry the woman I had loved for 3 years, Isabella de Alba. That was when I heard voices in the corridor. The door was slightly ajar, and I immediately recognized the distinctive laugh of my bride. Out of curiosity, I silently moved closer to listen. "Hey, are you sure this plan won't fail?" It was Clara's voice, Isabella's best friend and bridesmaid. "Of course, darling, Roman is completely enchanted by me. After the wedding, it will only take a little time to convince him to transfer the rights to those patents into my name," Isabella replied with a coldness I had never heard from her before. I felt my entire world collapse. I had to lean against the wall just to keep from falling. "And if he suspects something?" Clara asked. "Roman," Isabella laughed scornfully, "he's a poor fool who thinks he's marrying for love. He actually believes I've fallen for the new rich man with no family lineage. He's so naive, always lost in his architectural projects. Please, he doesn't even know how much his patents for those so-called smart buildings are worth." The laughter in the hallway pierced me like daggers. I pressed my hand against my chest, feeling my heart pounding wildly. 3 years of a relationship, 3 years of plans, all a lie. "But you'll stay with him after the wedding?" Clara insisted. "Of course, until I get full control of his patents. After that, well, accidents happen, don't they?" Isabella laughed again, and I had to cover my mouth to keep from crying out. "Isabella, are you serious?" Clara's voice was uneasy. "Relax, nothing will happen to him. I'll just divorce him after the deal is finalized. I'll say we're incompatible, that the marriage failed. His heart will break for a while, but he'll recover. Men always do." I leaned harder against the wall, struggling for air. My hands trembled so much I could barely hold onto my cufflinks. How could I have been so blind? So stupid. "And the Alba family debts," Clara whispered, "but I'll pay them off quickly with his money. I owe almost €1 million to investors. They're running out of patience, you know. But after the wedding, the problem will be solved." €1 million. Investors. I had never known the Alba family was drowning in debt. Isabella always told me she worked late at the family gallery. But in truth, she had been managing a financial crisis and desperate investors. "Do you think anyone will suspect?" Isabella lowered her voice. "Roman's parents are already dead, and he has only one brother in the United States," Clara answered. "No one will doubt your relationship. Except maybe Ignacio, his old lawyer friend. He always questioned Roman's choice of bride. Roman's too trusting. He believes everyone must fall in love with a noble lady of the de Alba lineage." I closed my eyes. Yes, Ignacio had always warned me, but I had been too proud. Proud of Isabella, always showing her off to everyone for her elegance and grace. She always knew how to behave in front of me. Always attentive, always charming, always so interested in my work. Every time I explained a new design, her eyes lit up as if I were the most talented man alive. Now I realized those compliments were nothing more than carefully designed traps, meant to make me believe in her love completely. "And if we leave now?" Clara nervously suggested. "We can still call it off." "Cancel it? Are you crazy? I've been planning this for 2 years, ever since I found out Roman's patents are worth more than €5 million. He's the ticket to restoring the Alba family to glory." 2 years. She had been plotting for 2 years. I remembered our first meeting, at the design exhibition in Madrid. She had stumbled into my booth, by accident, showering praise on my models, saying they were the most visionary projects she had ever seen. She looked so genuine, so impressed. She even took notes as I explained, later telling me she had never been so fascinated by architecture. Now I knew, it was all a performance. "Girls, it's time, the music has started," a third voice interrupted. "All right then, let's put on our happy faces," Isabella said with a final laugh. Their footsteps faded, leaving me alone with only my racing heartbeat and the wedding march echoing through the church. I looked into the mirror. My custom-tailored suit worth 10,000 euros. My beard, trimmed to perfection for today. My eyes, once full of hope, now reflected only turmoil and fury. All this, for a woman who wanted only my money, my patents, and perhaps my life. I took a deep breath, wiping away the tears that threatened to fall. No, I would not break. I would not give Isabella de Alba that satisfaction. If she wanted to play dirty, I knew how to play too. In the bullfighting arena, patience is the deadliest weapon, my grandfather's words rang in my ears. It was time to use her own tactics against her. In the mirror, I no longer saw a man in love. Love had burned away, leaving behind cold ashes, and a fire of vengeance. A strange calm descended upon me, almost supernatural, as if my emotions had been switched off, leaving only rational calculation. You want a game, Isabella? I whispered to my reflection. Then let's play, and see who laughs last. Not every prey is easy to hunt. Sometimes the lamb turns into the wolf. My phone vibrated, a message from my brother Javier. Brother, everyone is waiting for you. I replied, on my way. I straightened my tie, smiled at my reflection, and rehearsed the expression I would wear. Isabella wanted a loving, naive groom. That's exactly what she would get. But her fate would be something she could never imagine. I whispered one last time to the mirror. Let the game begin, my dear bride. You think you're the hunter, but you don't know, you're the prey. I walked out of the lounge and down the corridors of the church. Guests turned, admiring the groom's entrance. Murmurs of delight filled the air. I smiled and nodded, perfectly playing the role of the radiant groom. At the altar, Isabella awaited me. When our eyes met, she gave me that smile that once had bewitched me. Now I knew, it was just part of the act. What a fine actress, I thought. Worthy of her aristocratic bloodline. Lies without blinking, her game rivals that of a professional con artist. My close friend Ignacio, standing off to the side, looked at me with concern. I gave him a subtle signal. Then I turned back to Isabella. She looked stunning, like a Renaissance painting in her 50,000 euro gown by Madrid's best designer. Once I had been proud of her beauty. Now I saw only elaborate packaging hiding a rotten soul. Her father, Juan de Alba, stood proudly, preparing to give her away. The decadent aristocrat, now 60, had pinned all his family's hopes on this marriage. Calculation glinted in his eyes. My princess, you look radiant today, Juan said. Thank you, Papa, Isabella replied sweetly as he escorted her down the aisle. I looked at the familiar faces around me. My friends seemed genuinely happy for me. Most didn't know how our love story had begun. An accidental meeting, a whirlwind romance, a seemingly perfect proposal. Now I realized it had all been part of a carefully crafted script. But in the Alba family's section, I saw strange anticipation, as if they all knew. Her cousin Luis even gestured triumphantly to another relative, as if saying, we did it. Her mother Victoria's eyes sparkled with victory. The entire Alba clan looked like a pack of wolves, ready to feast on a fattened lamb. When they reached the altar, Juan kissed his daughter's forehead and placed her hand in mine. Take good care of her, he said, locking eyes with me. I will, Señor de Alba. She's the love of my life, I replied. Those words might once have moved me. But now they only made me sick. Silently, I added, don't worry, I'll take good care of her. Exactly the way she planned to take care of me. The priest began the ceremony. We are gathered here today to witness the sacred union of Roman and Isabella. Marriage is a holy covenant, built on love, respect, and mutual honesty.